Hey Jasper United Methodist Church family, I welcome you once again to my office for a little check-in. I want to spend a little bit of time today just kind of reiterating some of the things that we have talked about over the last week, having to do with our potential in-person worship on July 12th. I just want to remind you that we're going to have two worship services. We're going to have a 9 o'clock traditional and an 11 o'clock contemporary. Now, please understand we have no intentions of this staying this way. We're hoping that in the very near future we'll be back to our 3 services of worship just like we've had before. But at this time, so that we can try to get as many people as possible into worship, this is where we're going to begin. Another part of that are masks. And there's all kinds of back and forth about masks, and I know that there are. And I know that some people don't like them. I understand some people say they're not, they don't do any good, and so on and so forth. And I understand all those opinions. What I can tell you is the CDC says to wear them. The CDC says that they are helpful, that they help prevent and reduce the risk of the spread of the virus. For that reason, we're going to encourage them here in worship. We would like for you to bring your own. Find one that you're comfortable in and bring it with you and wear it. If you don't, we will have disposable style masks available, and they will be available and handed out to you as you come in. Please understand, I'm just asking you to help out. This is about taking care of one another. This is about caring for each other. So please do some prayerful consideration of complying and following the recommendation. It would be greatly appreciated. One of the things that we have I've been looking at, been reading up on, have heard a lot of different things about, is congregational singing. And I'm sad to say that congregational singing will not be encouraged. It has been shared by many who have studied this. Worship leaders from our annual conference put out some information. You can go to the North Georgia Conference website. You can see all that information there. But I think some of the best information I've seen so far came from a United Methodist Church member who is a doctor and an infectious disease specialist. And he's from the Florida conference, and he shared a webcast just a few days ago and encouraged the same thing, that singing is just not recommended, congregational singing in particular. What the worship folks in our conference has suggested is worship can be used and involved in worship through instrumentals, also through solos, duets, and small ensembles. So both Roxanne and NATO are working on this and talking through all of this, and we have plans of having all of that at both our traditional and our contemporary service. Part of that as well is making sure that our singers are further back from the body. We are working that out with our chancel area and removing some chairs and such as that. So please be aware that there will be music involved in our service. We'll just be encouraging the congregation not to be involved in that singing. One of the things we talked about before is we're going to need some servants. We're going to need some folks, some church folks who are willing to help out. We're going to need about 7 folks to help get the service area ready for the next worship service. So between 10 and 11, or between 9:45 to before the 11 o'clock worship service, we're going to need some folks who are going to be working to clean, kind of wipe down the bathrooms. We're also going to need folks who are willing to help us kind of rearrange our chairs a little bit. We also are going to need some folks using our UVC wands to sanitize all the chairs and seating areas and doors and that kind of thing. So if you're willing to be a part of that, in total, we're going to need those 7, and we're going to need probably 2 or 3 more to help with opening doors and welcoming folks and handing out masks and those kinds of things, possibly even helping us with a hand sanitizer and things like that. So if you're willing to be a part of that, just give me a call, contact me through email, text message, give me a call, or you can reach out to Teal Sanders, who is our Director of Christian Education, is going to be kind of overseeing and helping coordinate this part of our worship service and the servants that will be serving in the midst of that. So if you're willing and able to do that, we encourage you to get in touch with Teal, or you can get in touch with me. We have also talked about reservations, and I know that really makes some people upset that you're going to have to call and make a reservation to come to church, but it's just necessary right now. We need to limit our numbers to 60 people to begin with, and the reason for that is we need to make sure we can maintain some social distancing. To do that, we need to limit the numbers of people at this time. So we will have 2 services of 60 people each. So we're going to be asking you to call the church office and make a reservation for that worship service, whether it's the 9 o'clock or the 11 o'clock. I know there are many of you through the years who have enjoyed both worship services. You have come to the 9:45 and you have come to the 11. Right now, I need you just to pick one, please. Until we get a handle on how many people are really interested and able to come to worship, we need to limit that number to 60, and I need to limit you to just one worship service a Sunday. Folks, I know all of this is hard. I know all of this is aggravating, and I know many of you just do not like it. And let me tell you, I don't like it either. But it's the world we live in right now. And we as a church need to be an example of what it means to show compassion, what it means to show caring, what it means to be looking out for the other. So please help us in the midst of all of this as we work toward presenting and sharing worship in a meaningful way to bring praise and honor to God. Hopefully, prayerfully, these concessions are not going to have to last that long. But they may last longer than we want them to. However it turns out, I'm just asking you, seek God's guidance in the midst of this. Strive to be at peace with the recommendations that we need to follow so that we can keep everyone as safe as possible and we can enjoy worship together. Thank you. This won't be the last time we'll be having this conversation, but thank you for giving me a few moments. I pray that God's blessings are upon you, and I look forward to seeing you as soon as we possibly can. Have a good evening.